Welcome back to the shop and Project Street Queen. Oh crap, I forgot that lift was there. Good thing these mirrors don't work. They need to be replaced anyhow. I think I know where I can find some. Today, we're gonna be doing our first upgrade. Now I say upgrade, but this is kind of a maintenance slash upgrade. It really depends on what you're doing. And for all the naysayers out there, this truck already has 400 and almost 30,000 miles on it on the stock trans with no rebuild. So is this needed? No. But are lower tranny coolant temps good? Yes. So let me show you what we have. Alloyworks reached out and said, hey, do you want to try our transmission cooler? I was like, matter of fact, I do. So they sent me their bar and plate style transmission cooler for the 2006 to 10 LBZ and LMM. This should be a pretty straightforward installation. And the only extra thing you'll need is some new fluid to top off, because this is going to have a higher capacity than the stock unit. I'll have links to this fluid down below, as well as to this guy with a discount code as well. Well, I'd say it looks pretty solid. It's got these nice intakes on there. I'm no professional welder, so I couldn't comment on the weld quality, but if it doesn't leak, then I'm going to be happy. To get our grill out, we've got our clips at the top, bottom, and on the side. I already shot a little bit of dry lube on there because I find that whenever you're dealing with these type of a spring clip, a little bit of lube on it helps it to just pop right apart like that. We got our clips over here on the side. Looks like this one's actually broken. Oh, yep, that one didn't come apart either. So who's got recommendations on a new grill for this thing? The other four went just dandy, but the ones on the side, they both popped right off. This thing's really heavy with this extra grill on there too. Well, this is curious. This looks like maybe a power steering cooler that's being held on with a bread tie because the original ties broke, or the aftermarket ties or whatnot. There should be a mount to this, I would think, that goes to something. I might make one, bend something up to mount where our new one is mounting. That would make a lot of sense. Well, that was easy to take off. The little bread tie is not doing its job very well. To get our old cooler out, got to pull these little covers back on both sides. And then we have the spring clip. Got to get under that guy. Pull one side out, and you can slide it all the way out. Don't lose those. Now, if you're not doing any other work where your tranny lines are drained, you're probably going to make a small mess. So a rag down underneath will save you a little bit of cleanup time. Just got to work our lines out slowly.
Oh, it's literally just the spring clip.
Yeah, that's it.
Right.
A spring clip and O-ring, and then they're being held in to the clips down here. Throw a little penetrant in there. Break up any corrosion. We'll take the tins out from the top. Get them more wiggle room. All right, now everybody loosens up nicely. Just lift that out of the way. Down and out.
Same height.
Well, just the brackets down below are stacking it up.
Oh, that's true.
Because it's got these little mounts right here. Whoop, 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 dripping. I can see the bottom of the intercooler and the bugs and rocks and debris and stuff in there. In a future episode, I plan to pull the whole core support and everything apart. That way I can tilt my AC condenser forward, I can flush it out backwards, I can pull the intercooler, flush it, pull the radiator and flush it, and do a full cooling system flush on it, because it's supposed to have Dex Cool in it. It's got green coolant in it. Probably not the best thing. And I've got a leaking lower radiator hose that connects to the water pump. We got to get these rubber mounts out of the stock unit. I'm going to try to just squeeze them out. Man, that's nice. If I was working on one of my BMWs, that would have just shattered into a million pieces, I'm sure. Oh yeah, popped right in there. Little silicone brake lubricating paste. Use this stuff on everything. Bleep, just like that. Now, because this thing can be used with the stock lines using these couplers or with AN fittings, we're gonna use the couplers. But before I do that, I'm gonna go ahead and put some fluid in here. And for those of you that are thinking, well, that fluid is after the filter. Well, you're probably right. But it's also coming from a clean container. So this will just make it easier to top off later versus trying to put a ton of fluid through the dipstick. Judah was just asking if I'm gonna fill it up, and no, I'm not gonna fill it up. I'm just gonna get some fluid in there to prime it, let it flow across. If you look at the side profile, it's thicker than the original one. So you should expect a lower overall transmission temperature. I'll just take a little bit of fresh fluid, wipe it on the O-ring. This is just an O-ring and it's going against a flat surface here. So if you crank it so far, you're gonna tear that O-ring. I'll put a wrench on there and we'll be solid. Ugga, dugga.
That's it.
On our old line here, we're just gonna wipe some of this dirt and debris off of there. Nice and clean. I'm gonna use a little bit of assembly lube just to protect this O-ring before we go and stab these guys in here. I don't see any fluid. It must be down pretty low. This thing takes quite a bit of fluid. Yeah, look at that. That's right there. We started up here, just about to a quart or more. Actually, we're more than a quart.
Oh, you're gonna try like that?
Hell yeah!
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do some tilting. It's gonna be some funny business.
I have to do some tilting.
Okay.
You have to take the clips out first too.
What clips?
Clips in there.
No, we should be able to push right past them.
Oh, okay. These are springs.
They are.
There's fluid.
There's some fluid. Yep, there's a little. I'm stuck on my towel. Good thing the towel's in there.
Good thing. Now push the line in.
I'm stuck on the line. That's what it is. Oh, I tilted it over. Mistakes everywhere. Come on.
That's a lot of tilting, bro.
Where's the hole at?
Okay.
Oh, there's the bracket right there. You gotta find the little rubber grommet slots. Ah, that's what I was going for. We only lost a little bit.
Only like a 4.5.
No, we might have lost a couple of ounces. I gotta decide what I'm gonna do with this. So we gotta loosely fit this guy. For our top hardware, I'm gonna try to put the bolt in from behind because it'll be easy to hold. And the nut from the front. And I haven't tightened down these upper brackets yet because I wanted to get the bracket straight first. Easy. So plan B on the power steering cooler, rather than trying to zip tie it in here, we're gonna cut the lines, route it up here, put a set of riv nuts in here, and then zoop, lock that thing down right there. That'll work out a lot better. With this thing 99% installed, man, does it look good in there. It fits right in between the A-frame here for the core support. This line here, we'll go ahead and pop it in now that we've decided what to do with the power steering cooler. Make sure you remember to route your little safety covers up. These are just there to prevent the E-clips, C-clips, elbow clips, whatever they are, from popping out. Try to get your line back in the little clip down here. There we go. Everybody's in place and happy. Before we even do anything here, we can fire it up, make sure we don't have any leaks, and let it start to warm up while we decide, well, we've already decided that. That's gonna be an easy fix. That'll also make it really easy to put a bigger power steering cooler in here, because when you go with bigger tires or you're doing a lot of turning and maneuvering, your fluid's gonna get hot. Before we fire it up, I am gonna add a little bit more fluid to it, because we know it's gonna be a little bit low. Got a nice big funnel. All right, we put a total of 1.5 quarts in. We'll let that be enough to get her fired up. We need to get the tranny fluid warmed up so that we can check its level. It looks like this might have been mounted here before. These threads are here. They kind of suck, so I'm gonna put some new threads in there for the hardware that I have. So I don't know about you, but I don't always like to pay full price for parts. And I really wanted a new steering wheel for this truck because the top of mine is all ripped up. So yesterday I was scouting the junkyard and I found this in a Tahoe, pulled the buttons out because the buttons were all disgusting. And I think I'm gonna be able to rewrap this. But the moral of the story is I was perusing the junkyard like I do, and I came back with a baggie of bolts and nuts and screws, because I don't know if you've recognized, but OEM hardware is kind of expensive per bolt. And at the junkyard, they'll look at this and go, all right, never mind, $5. They don't want to count that. They'll just say there's more than 10 or more than 20, and they'll give you a size and say, that's good enough. So I know that I picked up some M6s yesterday. That's what I just tapped this with, M6 by 1.0.
Right there.
Yes, so I got a pair of those. Even more importantly, I picked these up because one of the bolts in the front bumper of my M5 has got a little bend in it. These are $12 brand new, 98 cents a piece. Way better deal. All right, let's see how lucky we got here. Can we push the lines back? Yeah, there's just enough flex in them. Oh boy, luck or it's skill.
Probably luck.
Probably luck. How much cleaner that is rather than zip tied down here.
No, bread tie.
Bread tie, you're right, it was a bread tie. We've had the truck running for like 15 minutes. We got the fluid temperature just above 100 degrees, which isn't quite warm enough. I don't have any leaks, and I've added 2 quarts total between adding fluid to the cooler and to the transmission. So we're gonna go ahead and throw the grill on, go out and put some miles on it, then double check our fluid and see how it works over the next week or so. We decided to take the slats out from in between here. 1, because I think they kind of look a little 90s, and 2, because they're definitely going to impede a little bit of flow. The more surface area you cover, the more flow you're going to cover. I would worry about those sides clicking in, but I broke it taking it out. So, just the middle for now. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean I'm not going to make it nice. Clean all the bug guts out of here. This dirt.
Clean the metal with plastic shine.
Yeah, hey, why not? It looks good. One thing to note on this upper grill shroud is it's pretty important for airflow, because what it does is it stops all the air from just sneaking up and over your cooling stack, and it helps to direct everything through. So don't leave this off, and if you're missing one, try to find one. All right, we're all loaded up for our maiden voyage with the Street Queen.
got the trailer loaded. They're not that heavy, I recognize that. The fat ass race car, I mean, it weighs enough, but the combination between the two, we're only looking at about 6,000 pounds. We're pretty even. I might need a little bit more drop at the front, but I like it where it is. We'll see how it tows before we make any real adjustments. We'll also get to see on this cool winter day, it's like 65 degrees today, how the tranny cooler works. All right, annual tech inspection done. She passes, she's good to go, and the Street Queen did a fantastic job driving her here. Here we are just letting the fluids flow around before we hit the road. On the way here, we were running about 189 degrees engine coolant and around 155 to 160 on the trans fluid temperature. All right, here's the roundup. We towed about 15 miles each way. It's 66 degrees out. You can see that we're rolling 192 trans fluid temp and now 180 on the coolant temp. I think it's doing better than it would have done before. At least I hope so. So I guess I'm gonna have to test this thing out for the next few months as it gets hotter. Not to mention I gotta do some cooling upgrades on this truck anyhow with the leaking lower radiator hose, and I'm pretty sure that the radiator's never been cleaned in 400,000+ miles. So I'm gonna pull it out and clean it and see if I can get my coolant temp to stay under control as well. I've got a discount code down below. It's DFB for 3% off the current price or whatever incentives that they have on Alloyworks website. Use my link to get that code, and I really appreciate you guys watching and following along on Project Street Queen. Stay tuned for more upgrades, more repairs, more fun. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.